My name is Christopher Licht. I am 24 years old from Denmark. I live in Copenhagen and I am the founder of PANNAHOUSE, a world-leading street soccer movement, organization and pro team.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Sul, aka The Gypsy. I'm 37 years old. Also a member of Copenhagen PANNAHOUSE and a co-founder also.
PANNAHOUSE.
Hey, it's Licht in the house. Guys, I just wanted to tell you that Copa90 has uploaded this cool video on the art of the nutmeg, they call it. Unfortunately, they call it nutmeg, not panna. It is what it is. And I sent in an interview where I answered some questions that they had, some really good questions. Gypsy did the same thing. You know, the video from Copa90 is super short. They want to grab attention, want to get out to a general public, so I totally get that. But I feel like there's so much missing from our interviews, so much golden stuff for you guys that I know you guys will really enjoy. And they didn't use the Gypsies footage at all, and I thought it would be a waste if I didn't show it to you guys. So I'm just going to give you the full answers to all the interview questions we had. There's a lot of cool things that you can learn from, a lot of cool things that hopefully will inspire you. Yeah, I just hope you enjoy it. In the description, I've put time codes for every single question, so if there's things that you're more interested in than others, you can check it out. And otherwise, I hope you have a great day. The first question is, what makes Panna so... Oh yeah, first things first. I'm gonna say Panna throughout this whole thing. Panna is like the international word for nutmeg. It's like it's what defines the culture and the sport for all of us, so it makes more sense and it's more natural for me to say Panna, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that from now on. If you think about it yourself, you know, every time you watch soccer or football on television, or at least what I do is I look for the skills. I look for the unique dribbles, the guy who can take a man on one-on-one, the guy who has that extra flair. And when the one guy puts it through the other guy's leg, makes a panna, that's when everyone goes crazy, right? That's where we have the ole from. I mean, I don't watch football for the goals and for the passes and for the goalkeeper saves. I watch it for the flair and for the flow and for the skills. So humiliating is a harsh word, but it's humiliating because it's kind of the greatest achievement you can do with the ball against an opponent, if that makes sense.
What's humiliating? That word? I don't know really what's that word, but for me, a panna is you give, you get, and you give some. And I think you learn more of getting one actually than giving one sometimes, if you want to go to the next level actually. So yeah, that's my answer on that.
There's like the whole culture around it, you know. If you're out with your boys or out with your friends and you're just, you know, you're chilling nice with the ball and there's another team there and you're going to show them some skills. If you actually go ahead and panna your opponent, everyone around you will go crazy, right? So like there's this culture around it also that makes it that more humiliating. Either way, it's awesome as...
How does it feel when I make a panna?
Yeah.
Huh? What panna makes me feel? Yeah. What do you think, man? What do you think? It makes me feel like I'm young again, man. It gives me that feeling like when I was a kid, you know, the freedom, just like enjoying myself, like, yeah, you know.
Panna is like the ultimate goal, right? When you're playing street soccer or even just soccer in general, like getting to put the ball through your opponent's legs is just an amazing feeling. It's like, it's a feeling. It like when you do it, you feel it in your toes, and it's like it works its way all the way through your body, and it's like an inner celebration. Your entire, like, all the cells in your body just go crazy. They have like a huge party, right? I think it's also something that comes with time. You know, I think if you've tried it, you know how it feels.
It's like panna. Like for me, panna is like my life. It's like I see panna like everywhere, like in all things in life, like the respect, the way you play panna, how you play panna, and how you act, how do you react, and the moment you know that the player is getting his feet out, and when you know you get him, that's the panna. That's crazy moment. Yeah, man, that's what we play for. That special moment there.
It's also kind of the feeling of pannaing someone. That's kind of what got me into the sport, into this culture. I think the happiness and the joy that I felt, and even just from watching other people pannaing other people, is what really brought me into the sport. Made me practice really hard. So it's really an incredible and indescribable feeling that's hard to replicate. Even when I just train for pannaing people, just even by myself, I actually I go into my own little world, and that's where in my own little peaceful world, and I feel like I'm my best self there. That's where I can focus on what's most important. I collect myself.
For me now, it's like it makes me happy playing and seeing the young generation taking it to the next level. So yeah, I'm just happy to be around it, to be a part of it. Yeah.
I do want to pinpoint one thing though. I think that pannaing someone who's also a panna player or a street soccer player, who also has a high level, is a much better feeling. I mean, anyone can go and panna, someone who's walking by them on the street or their next door neighbor who doesn't play football. But pannaing someone who really plays the game and enjoys the game and knows the movement, that's where you unlock the real joy. I mean, when I hear someone talking about panna, I get happy. Obviously, I mean they're talking about my lifestyle, my culture, my way of living. So it brings me like an immense amount of joy and happiness inside of me.
Yeah, like I said before, happy, and of course Panna House. Of course, like panna makes. Yeah, it's hard to describe what I think. It's like panna. When I hear the word panna, it makes me happy. I want to play. I want to get outside, watch, see panna. And yeah,
but also it's so much more than the game and putting the ball through your opponent's legs. It's giving me so many opportunities to meet people from around the world, opportunities to learn from different cultures, opportunities to meet friends I would never have met, opportunities to teach kids I would never have met. So it's given me so much, just the passion alone, and that's really what's inspired me to build a platform for the future where other people can feel the same passion. So when I hear the word panna, it just makes me happy because it's everything I work for.
What goes through my mind when I try to panna someone? Yeah, a lot of things. Like when I play panna, I forget what I have in life. Is like there in the moment. I only live for that moment. Like you're only there in the moment. Like it's hard to describe. I'm trying to set him up to make him think like I'm too old, I'm like too stiff or too slow, whatever, and then the explosion comes or whatever.
Panna is it's like a chess game. In order to make a panna on your opponent, you need to make some moves first. You need to move your body a little bit to the left, your body a little bit to the right, move the ball in one way, fake him the other way. You need to make some moves in order for your opponent to open your legs. And these type of movements, with time, they become natural to you. They become like a second kind of nature. It's like a feeling that you really build upon. So to be honest, I don't really think much anymore. It's much more like a sense, an inner feeling that I have. I'm just smiling and having fun with the ball, and then everything kind of comes by itself. That's why I always tell people that if they want to get good at street soccer and panna, they just need to practice, because the real key to getting good is finding this inner feel and inner timing and inner understanding of the ball. It's like biking. When you bike, you're not thinking about pressing on the pedals, right? You're just doing it. You're not thinking about turning the steering wheel. You're just doing it. And it's the same thing with the ball. If you reach that level where you don't actually have to think about giving someone a panna, that's when you know you're at a high level.
So, describe the feeling when I get panned. I don't know, because I never get a panna. Yeah, like I always said, you learn more from the panna you get in the pannas you give, actually.
Getting panned is not a very good feeling. It also depends on who gives you a panna, but most of the time, getting panned is not a nice feeling. I remember when I started playing street soccer and panna, it was the absolute worst thing that could happen to me. Like getting a panna was it was almost like death. But actually, with time, I've come to understand that that while the feeling of getting panna really sucks, it's also really important. And it's really important to have this feeling and understand this feeling because it's going to make you a better player. It's something I teach my kids. Every single training I tell them, don't be afraid to get a panna. Always go for the ball. Always try and take the ball. If you get a panna, it doesn't matter. You're going to learn something new. You're going to learn a new way of defending the ball. You're going to understand what mistake you made, and it's going to make you a better player. So it's a very, very sucky feeling, but a very, very important feeling. You should grasp it. Embrace it. You should embrace it. That's what it should. Embrace the panna.
It's the same. I actually get happy when a kid gives me a panna, because usually kids give me panna, yeah? And Dubai was only for the show, you know that.
The game of panna is a really awesome game. It can be played 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 5 versus 5, you name it. But most commonly it's played 1-on-1. And usually play inside a cage with a goal on each side. The cage could be square, rectangle, triangle, it doesn't matter, as long as there's a goal on each side, where each player can score goals. And the player within a time limit, usually 3 minutes, that scores the most goals is the player that will win. There's a little twist though. If you put the ball through your opponent's legs, if you make a panna, you're controlling the ball and putting it through his legs, you actually win and it's game over.
Yeah, Panna is a game where you play wherever. We can play it right here if we want it, without goals, or make our own goals, doesn't matter. And just go for the Panna. And also, don't jump around, bitches. Take the fucking ball, huh? Take it. You know what I'm talking about. Panna's Invitationals, brother. Remember, you have to take the ball, because if you cannot take the ball, you can never win it. Yeah, brother. True talk, true talk. It's true talk.
So it's kind of a, you can, sometimes we compare it to boxing. Imagine you're in the boxing ring and you're throwing some punches and you're getting your opponent, real good. You're giving him some uppercuts and you're giving him a blue eye here and there. So you're getting a lot of points. But suddenly he just gets that lucky punch, that lucky dodge, and that lucky punch. Boom, you're knocked out. Game over. No matter how well you did throughout the other rounds, you're knocked out. You're lost. It's the same thing with Panna. We go for that magic moment, and that's where it all ends. It's really, really awesome.
The Gypsy recap, okay. I started playing in the streets, actually. They were all started in the, I had an area where I lived, not far from here, in the ghetto. It's like, we had a field before I went to school. I go out and play there. When I come home from school, I go out and play there. Yeah, all mama called you to say, go eat. Yeah, we go eat, and then after again, go out play until the lights went off. When the lights went off, then you knew. And now in the street community, it is my life. It's like I eat, breathe, I go to school, make work with this. I go to, how do you say, youth, I don't know the English. My English is very bad, guys, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I tried to take Panna and spread it here in Copenhagen, in Denmark, in the whole world, wherever I go. Try to make people happy and enjoying themselves, trying a new sport also sometimes if they don't know about Panna. And just having fun and using Panna as a tool also as getting into the rougher areas, where there is small measures and means.
My role in street football is, street football is more a role in my life. I mean, I live and breathe street football. Every night I go to bed, I think of street football. Every morning I wake up, I think of street football. Is core to my life. I have built this platform, PANNAHOUSE, to try and inspire young kids to have the same positive lifestyle that Panna can potentially give you. So here in Denmark, we provide weekly free trainings for kids that want to learn about the sport. We also provide workshops for different organizations and companies. We do shows around Denmark, around the world. We also do tournaments, and we're actually also on YouTube and online, where we teach skills and try to push the sport on an international level. And finally, we also arrange the World Championships in Panna every year in Copenhagen, PANNAHOUSE Invitationals. So if you think that's awesome, I guess I will see you here this August. Rock on. I think above all, my most important role is to inspire the next generation. I think Panna is it's a very young sport. It's a very new sport, and I think it has a huge growth spurt. There's so many people starting to play Panna now. But I really think if we want to continue this positive growth, we need to focus on the youth and the next generation. So that's what I'm putting a lot of my efforts in while I'm trying to stay on top. But it's so hard when those youngsters they are coming, man. They are good and they are the future. So watch out for that. Yeah. I have that's about what I have to say.